Good morning, students. In today's class we are going to see source coding theorem. In previous class we have already seen an introduction to the source coding. We saw that an important problem in communication is the efficient representation of the data generated by the discrete source. The process by which this representation is accomplished is source encoding, and the device which performs this is source encoder. We saw the requirements of the source encoding. The two basic requirements are the code words produced by the encoder should always be in a binary form, and the source code is uniquely decodable so that the original source sequence can be easily reconstructed perfectly from the encoded binary sequence. We saw the block diagram of source encoding where a discrete memoryless source is generating a source with symbols Sk with the probability represented by Pk, and source encoder converts this Sk into a binary sequence Bk. So the average code word length is given by summation k is equal to 0 to k minus 1 product of probability and the information Ik. And we also saw that the information gained and the probability of occurrence, they are inversely proportional to each other. The coding efficiency is given by the formula eta is equal to L minimum divided by the average code word length L bar. With L bar greater than or equal to L minimum, we clearly have the efficiency less than or equal to 1. So the source encoder is said to be efficient when the efficiency approaches unity. So we saw the types of source coding basically classified as fixed length coding and variable length coding. And in the previous class we have seen variable length code, which is Huffman code. And today's session we will move on with the Shannon-Fano coding, which is again a variable length code. Let us see what are the procedures to be followed for Shannon-Fano code. A Fano code is performed as follows. First step is arrange the information source symbols in the order of decreasing probability, which is similar to the Huffman code. Second is divide the symbols into two equally probable groups as possible as you can. Step 3. Each group receives one of the binary symbols 0 and 1 as the first symbol. Basically we will be giving zeros to the symbols available in the top part and 1 to the symbols available in the bottom part. Fourth step is repeat steps 2 to 3 as per groups as many times as possible. And finally stop when no more groups to divide. So let us see the Shannon-Fano coding with an example. The first step is arrange the information source symbol in the order of decreasing probability. So here you can see the symbols A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I and J are occurring with these probabilities, and they are already arranged in the decreasing order: 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 1 by 8, 1 by 16, 1 by 16, 1 by 32, 1 by 32, 1 by 32 and 1 by 32. So the first step is already over. So what is the next step? Divide the symbols into two equally probable groups. So now you can see A and B is combined together. 1 by 4, 1 by 4 is 0.25. This is another 0.25. So when you add these two, it becomes 0.5. When you add the remaining probabilities, again it will become 0.5. So equally you are dividing the probabilities, the top portion with the probability 0.5 and bottom portion with the probability 0.5. Is it clear? So we have subdivided. So what is the next step? Third step is each group receives one of the binary symbol. I told you the top part is going to have a symbol 0 and the bottom part is going to have the symbol 1. So in the top part we have only two symbols, which is assigned with two zeros, and in the bottom we have the remaining symbols. All the symbols are given the value 1. So this completes our first step. Similar step has to be continued further till we don't have any steps for division. Okay. So what is the fourth step? Repeat the steps 2 to 3 as many times as possible. So what we have to do, divide the symbol into two equally probable groups. So for the second stage, at the top portion we have two symbols. Since we have only two symbols, it can be split into only two parts. Whether they are same or not, you can split these two symbols into two parts, where the first part is given as 0 and the second part is given a data 1. So this part is over. Now at the bottom we have remaining symbols. So we have to do the split for the bottom portion also. Okay. So how will you separate? The remaining bottom portion is considered. So the top portion is completed. In the bottom portion also. So separated, we are combining these two 1 by 8 as one group. So this 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8 will give you one value which is equal to the summation of all these probabilities, that is 1 by 16 plus 1 by 16 plus 1 by 32 plus 1 by 32 plus 1 by 32 plus 1 by 32 will give you one probability equal to the summation of these two probabilities. So we are giving 0 0 to the top portion, and for all the bottom portion we are giving 1. So this is the second stage. Now we have to move to the next stage. When we are at the we have two values of 1 by 8 here, right? Two values of 1 by 8. So you have to split the top portion as well as the bottom portion. First we will complete the top portion here. It is having only two symbols. So whether the value of probability is same or different, by default you can give 0 to the first part and 1 to the next part. Moving on to the bottom portion, we have to again split this bottom portion into two equal problems. So how will you do that? The 1 by 2, 1 by 16 plus 1 by 16 plus 1 by 16 as one group, which will be equal to 1 by 32 plus 1 by 32 plus 1 by 32 plus 1 by 32. So you are splitting here, where the top portion is given 0 0 and the bottom portion is given the value 1 1 1 and 1. Hope you are following it. So this step has to be continued further. Once you continue further, as you move on to the next step, you have to do the splitting at the top portion as well as in the bottom portion. In the top portion what we have only two symbols. So two symbols means by default you have to give 0 to the top and 1 to the bottom symbol. And you have to perform the split for the bottom portion. So top portion is over with 0 and 1. You have to perform the splitting. You have to equally split this bottom portion. So how will you equally split? You have to put a split here. You have to combine 1 by 32, 1 by 32, and you have to combine these two 1 by 32. 0 to the top half and the bottom half. So you are splitting equally here. Okay, you are splitting equally here. To the top portion you are giving 0 0, and for the bottom portion you are giving the value 1 and 1. Now what we are left with? We are left with only two symbols here and two symbols here. That means these two has to be given a value 0 and 1. These two has to be again given a value 0 and 1. So that will be. So how will you proceed on further? Splitting this equally, you will have a 0 and 1. Equally you will have a 0 and 1. So now this completes our Shannon-Fano code. Any other symbol. So everything is split here. We don't have any symbols to further split. So this becomes our final answer. So what is the code word for A? Code word for A is 0 0. Code word for B is 0 1. What is the code length here? It is 2. The code length here is 2. Here the code word is 1 0 0. In Huffman we saw that we have to trace the path in the forward direction and write the code word in the reverse direction. But here straight away you can write the code here. So code word for D is 101. Code word for E is 1100. Code word for F is 1101. Code word for G is 11100, where the length is 5. and code word for H is 11101, again where the length is 5, length of the bits is 5 bits, and I is having a symbol code word 4 ones followed by a 0, and J is having 4 ones, 5 ones. Okay, you can see all these codes are unique, none of the codes are getting repeated. Hope you have understood the concept of Shannon-Fano coding. In the above example, what we have seen, we have split all the parts into equal portions, right? If it was not possible to divide precisely the probabilities into equally probable groups, we should try to make the divisions as good as possible. So you have to split in such a way that the difference between the upper partition and the bottom partition is as small as possible. Now in this example, we have symbols T, U, V, W and X available with the probability 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 9, 1 by 9 and 1 by 9. Now in this case, we are not able to split this probability into two equal halves, right? So first part what I have done is, I have split at this portion where I have combined 1 by 3 and 1 by 3 as one group, 1 by 9, 1 by 9 and 1 by 9 as another group. Okay. So for the top portion I have given 0, 0, and for the bottom three symbols I have given the value 1, 1 and 1. That completes my first step. What about the second step? In the second step, I have two symbols in the upper partition. So whenever we have two symbols in the upper partition, we have to give 0 to the upper part and 1 to the bottom part. Okay, so 0, 1. Now we have to split this bottom portion. This bottom portion can be split into two ways. The first way is, you can split this 1 by 9 separately and you can combine this 1 by 9 and 1 by 9 together. So upper portion is going to have 1 by 9, which is denoted by a 0 here, and bottom portion is having 1 by 9 and 1 by 9, which is represented as 1 and 1. Then what will be the last step? In the last step, in this portion we have two symbols together. Since we have only two symbols together, we can put 0 to the top portion and 1 to the bottom portion. So that completes our Shannon-Fano code. Now in this example, I have taken 1 by 9 as a single entry at the top and two 1 by 9s I have combined at the bottom. Instead of doing like this, we can combine the first and the second 1 by 9 together and leave the last 1 by 9 separately. So I'll show you. So this is the same example where first I have divided 1 by 3 and 1 by 3 separately and three symbols at the bottom portion. So 0, 0 at the top and 111 at the bottom. First step is same. Second step, moving on to the second step, since at the top portion, at the top partition we have only two symbols. So since you have only two symbols, by default you have to put 0 to the upper symbol and 1 to the lower symbol. Now in the second partition we have three symbols here. Previously I have combined 1 by 9 and 1 by 9 separately and these two 1 by 9s together, right? Now instead of that you can go for combining these two 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 9 and 1 by 9 together, and this 1 by 9 as a second part. In that case what happens? 0, 0 has to be represented here at the top and 1 has to be represented at the bottom. What will be in the final step? In the final step, here in this portion we have two symbols 1 by 9 set together. So this has to be split. The top 1 by 9 has to be given as 0 and the bottom 1 by 9 has to be given 1. So the procedure is same but the code word is slightly different. So both the ways we can proceed. Idea of how to solve a problem using Shannon-Fano coding. Thank you.